birther, right?
He's a black guy, but he's a sheriff, and he's a regular attendee, if you will, on Fox News.
Fox News contributor.
Right.
Okay.
Right, regularly. And this is what he had to say that started an investigation into him.
What?
There's one more thing I want to ask you about. Beyonce put out a new video, music video, called Formation, and it has been interpreted to be pro-Black Lives Matter and potentially looking at issues inside New Orleans as well. How did you, there are some sheriffs that reacted poorly to that. They didn't like it. They turned their backs to Beyonce during the Super Bowl halftime show.
Okay, let's address that. Let's address that.
That's hilarious.
I was called out. I'm going to admit it.
Who did it to you?
I fail. Not epic fail. Yeah.
No,
I fail. Epic fail. I fell for it because
you wanted to.
I wanted it. I wanted it. And this Fox News reporter, whoever she is, I've never seen her before. She fell for it too. She fell for it, and she's so cute. She's so feisty. She's so feisty.
She looks like who's the one? Charlie's Angel.
Halle Berry?
No.
Oh, Cho. The Asian lady.
Yeah.
The Asian girl.
Yeah, what was her name? I can't remember. She looks a little like that.
Lucy Liu.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Producer.
Lucy Liu.
Okay, so I fell for her mesmerization. Like the eyes were looking at me.
Okay.
They was looking at me and I was following. I was like, yes, backs turned. They hate her. Yes, and protest. However...
Okay, so what did you see? Did you try to verify that really did happen?
Yeah, their backs were turned to her.
Wow, so the cops' backs were all turned to Beyonce while she was doing her show. Everybody else is watching her, and the cops had their backs turned to her. That is remarkable. That is a powerful statement.
Is it, though?
Is it?
Is it?
I would think so.
Well, the cops are on the payroll.
Yeah, to do
get
what?
Paid.
Yeah, to turn wait a minute, they're paid to send a message to Beyonce?
No, they're paid to watch the crowd for security purposes.
Right.
Their backs are always turned to the performer. That's not where the threat's coming from. Well, unless you know that she's...
It's like when we went to go see Paul Ryan, Mitt Romney, and all that.
Security had their backs turned to them.
Yeah, they were looking right at us, and sometimes they were kind of eyeballing the hell out of us.
They were mad dogging me.
Yes, and you're
because I had a T-shirt that said "capitalist pig" or
something like that.
Oh, American capitalist. And
right.
Like, who's this kid over here? What's going on?
This kid's obviously somebody we need to watch.
It's a nut job.
Yeah. RWNJ or whatever they call him.
Right wing nut job. Yeah. Right. Okay.
RWNJ.
All right. So I had to point that out.
So she was wrong by implying that the cops were sending a message to Beyonce by turning their backs on her.
It doesn't even make any sense now that I think it through. Right. Okay, let's go on.
What was your thought on the matter?
Well, I try not to overreact to these things, and I don't want to give this thing any more play than it's already getting. Look, musicians have long used their music, their trade, to make political statements in their music. We may not like it, but I don't want to make a huge deal about it. Them coming out, Beyonce, in those Black Panther type uniforms, would that be acceptable if a white band came out in hoods and white sheets in the same sort of fashion? We would be appalled and outraged. The Black Panthers are a subversive hate group in America. I think she could have done a better job, but I think Bruno Mars was a better halftime act.
He was in black too.
For the entire act.
All right, Sheriff David.
He was in all black. He came out, was it last year or the year before, when Bruno Mars performed? And it was the greatest thing ever. He did all these really, there was nothing racy about any of his songs. Right. And he actually, him and his whole band, all dressed up, and they look like Ritchie Valens from the 50s.
Oh, wow.
And they just had a really fun show. And there were all kinds of people from all demographics, all ages, who said, who is this guy? This is one of the greatest halftime shows I've seen in a really long time. This guy's great. And yet this time, he was matching Beyonce. Very disappointing. He didn't look like he was in military garb, but he was in matching all black outfit.
All right. Well, I'm not saying that. Whatever. He may have knew, and he may have just been a supporting actor.
Yeah, and the guy that the band that started,
right?
No black whatsoever, all rainbow colors, which kind of made me wonder.
Rainbow.
It was all the colors of the rainbow except for black and white. And then Beyonce
comes out in black and white.
No, black and gold.
Oh, black and gold.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Mostly black with a little bit of gold trim. And then Bruno Mars comes out in all black in gold sunglasses, I believe.
So, but if you think about it, really, there is a point to be made. You need to wake up, folks, and understand that they're coming for us, and we don't even know it.
Okay, so you're saying that we should be more conscious of the subconscious messages they're putting in there.
I think so, and I think not to fall in for it though. They're taunting you,
yeah,
and they want you to fall for it.
Now, here's the key: we watched her whole show. The song is called Formation. I heard the chorus, but I didn't hear the individual lyrics. I didn't really care to learn them, and I never would have. However, kids today, my daughter, they go and they find all the lyrics to the songs and they learn them verbatim, right, because it's important between them and their peers that you get all the words right when you sing them together with your friends.
Right.
Parents, adults, they don't care. They don't do that anymore. So while we hear a song that we have no idea what it means, they're actually learning and singing the lyrics. So if the lyrics of Formation are racist or bad in any way, shape, or form, or if nothing else, pro-Black Panther or pro-Black Lives Matters, which is definitely a racist organization, that being said, it's just propaganda for our children. And It goes under the radar past parental supervision. Doesn't it?
Yeah, no, it definitely
Are
does.
you actually reading the lyrics?
Yeah, oh my God.
Is there anything jumping out? Well, while you're reading
I
that,
like my Negro nose with the Jackson 5 nostrils.
What?
That's the line.
What does it even mean?
I like my baby hair with baby hair and afros. I like my Negro nose with the Jackson 5 nostrils.
Okay, so that's fine. You can like all that if you want. It's kind of a weird way of putting it, but okay.
Yeah, I see, whatever. I got hot sauce in my bag, swag.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right. So I want to backtrack a little bit while
Go
you're...
ahead, backtrack, go ahead.
Do you remember the soundbite that we all heard? If you've been listening to the show, you heard it. Who called who weak at the debate? We heard the soundbite.
Oh, Trump called Bush weak.
Right.
Right.
He made it very clear and he explained why.
He was the weakest one on the entire stage.
He made it pretty clear, right?
About immigration.
We heard the soundbite, right?
Correct.
Headline on Yahoo.
Okay. Hold on. The strongest link in the chain.
No.
Okay.
Worse.
No.
It's worse. This is the headline.
So it's a hit piece.
This is the headline on Yahoo on the front page of headline. Jeb Bush calls Donald Trump really weak. Can you believe this? What happened to journalism?
He did say really weak.
So Trump makes this giant dissertation about how Jeb Bush and why Jeb Bush is weak. Jeb Bush counters it by saying, well, you know what? Donald Trump is really weak. And that's the headline.
Bought and paid for, part and parcel, the GOP machine.
Unbelievable. I'm looking at it right now. That's the headline. I'm showing it to Brian right now.
Well, it shows Jeb and Trump side by side like we saw in the video. But that's not how it went down.
No!
That's not how it went down.
Doesn't it make it look so much worse that we heard that audio
and
first?
You listening here on Smith Radio,
Yeah.
you heard it all.
We heard the audio, and now I'm reading the liars.
The liars
at Yahoo. They are shameless. They're like, hey, it's like Peyton Manning supposedly getting paid $1.8 million or whatever for saying Budweiser. Now that's innocent. He can collect his money however he wants. We live in a capitalist society. If they offer it to him and he agrees, that's fine.
Right.
But it is kind of shameless.
Right.
Journalists are shameless in this stuff, and it's they're not supposed to do that.
No, not at all. And we talk about this all the time, whether it's whether it's making the news, creating the news, reporting the news. What we do is we report the news, and we report these people reporting the news. And we should expose them for who they are. And this.
Well, I'll tell you, I hope that you guys learned something on this show today. I mean, you heard the soundbite. I watched it and heard the soundbite. And that's the reporting. Jeb Bush calls Donald Trump really weak.
Wow.
Big, bold headline.
I'm surprised we didn't even talk about this either. It seems like this week seems like it's been the longest, hardest, arduous week I've spent.
Well, it's going to
the New Hampshire debate.
Yeah.
Or New Hampshire debate. The New Hampshire vote, obviously, by now, Trump won.
Right.
Handily.
By the way, I wanted to comment on that. So he won it handily, right?
Yes.
But do you remember when he didn't win it in Iowa? It was I swear the reporting is like ADHD, OCD, all the above combined, piled into one.
Worse than us? We're all over the board tonight.
Are we?
We're back and forth, but it's all good. Keep people on their toes.
You got to keep them on their toes. Right, right. I mean, the way they were reporting it was like, this is the end of Trump after Iowa. It was the end.
However, what were the delicate points for Trump?
Oh, it was a tie.
It was a tie.
Right.
Trump tied, just like we talked to you about Hillary and Sanders in New Hampshire. That was by hook and by crook.
Right.
To make her tie Sanders.
Isn't it interesting, though? Sure. Cruz won a little bit more percentage than
percentage-wise,
like 4 points or something like that. But the delegates were split down the middle, but they don't report that, even though that's the most important thing.
Because it's all about about the
delegates.
At the end of the game, nobody cares about the percentages. It's about what you've gathered in delegate points.
Now, there are some states out there that are winner take all. And had that been the case for the Iowa caucus,
it's been bad news.
It would have been, instead of 4 for Trump, 4 for Cruz, or however many they got, it would have been 8 for Cruz, 0 for Trump. So it's important to make that distinction because some of them are winner take all. Right. But in the case of Iowa, to report it as this huge upset for Trump, is he done? I think he's done. He's underperformed, blah, blah, which, by the way, we knew he was probably going to lose. And in fact, the early polling showed that he was going to lose by about 4 points, which is exactly what happened. So why are we reporting it like it was huge news? Meanwhile, New Hampshire happens. And when it does, all of a sudden, is it the end for everybody else? Trump is the real deal. Like, everybody's just like over-reporting, and it's like, gosh, you got to be kidding me.
He said something in his acceptance speech that I had to write down because the way that he worded it is like the way he speaks is not like the words that he puts together to make a sentence sometimes does not.
You mean, as your brother would say, the subject and verbs don't necessarily agree.
Huge.
Yeah,
huge. So here, let me play. It's just, I think it's a 44-second long clip. Play this real quick.
But did you write it down also?
I did write so I could memorize it.
Oh, so it was kind of like Bart Simpson. He has to write the sentence over and over on Blackboard. You had to do that.
Correct.
Okay. All right.
Well, because when I told my friends what he said, I wanted to get it right.
Yeah, because if you misquote that mess.
And if I said it exactly like Trump said it, they would believe it. They'd be like, oh, that sounds like something he would say.
You got to have a Brooklyn accent, though, or a Manhattan accent.
All right. Okay. All right.
Don't lock me up.
No.
I am going to be the greatest jobs president that God ever created. Remember that.
Okay. Why'd you have to write that down?
Hold on, listen to it. Listen.
I am going to be